Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back. The title of this video, as you can see, why has the upload stopped? Why have you slowed down, Hadi? What the hell is going on? Here is a full story of transparency. Now, before I actually get into this story, I do want to let you know that the core reason of me not uploading is because of me. It's all my fault. I very well could have whipped out my phone, recorded, edited the videos and uploaded throughout the past few days. There is no reason for me not to. Purely my fault. So if you wanted to know the reason, that's that. There is a story, but if you wanted to know the core reason, that's that. Right? I definitely had the choice to do it. Now, like I said, you will want to buckle up because what you're about to hear, you may just not be ready for it. All right, here we go. So this clown right here that you're watching on your screen decided that it would be a good idea to live in his car. Yep, take the time. Take as much time as you want to pause this video and cringe. You might need 5 minutes of reflection for that. Yeah, I'll wait. When you're back, let me know. Cool. For those of you that want to carry on watching, let's dive into it. Let's dive into the reasons why. So last year, I moved out of my family's house. I told my mum, look, I want to grow up. And on top of that, me and my brother, we just kept arguing. So I figured, let's just stop these arguments. I'm out of here. Cool. Take care. See you. It's time for me to go live my life. I ended up renting a room with some other tenants. But then I quickly started to realize after several months that I'm just burning money for no reason. What on earth? Paying a very high amount of rent. In London, there is nothing cheap. So I was paying so much money for rent. And I'm thinking, I want to save this money. Why the hell am I spending it on rent? I could be saving this money for a deposit for a house. I decided it's time to end my tenancy. I called the estate agency. I let them know what's happening and they agreed, and that was that. This left me in an awkward position. I don't want to live with my family because I keep getting into arguments with my brother and it's too much of a comfort zone. But I also don't want to pay rent. Where does that leave me? I started seeing videos on the internet of people doing something called van life or car camping, and I figured, yeah, I could do that. What's so bad about that? I could do that. Boy, was I wrong. That is not easy. It's very cold. It takes long to set up. And everything that was so easy for you to do is now very hard. Water? Where the hell is your water coming from? Electricity? Heat? Mate. Sleeping? Mate. This is no joke. For those of you that are doing this or can do it or have done it, full respect to you. I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. Forget that. This is all my fault. This was all my doing. I had a sleeping bag and boy was it still cold. So I told myself, let me buy an electric blanket as well as a power station. I tried that and I was so happy. I was like, yeah, it's not going to be cold anymore. It only took 1 day to completely drain the power station with the electric blanket. And so I figured I have to charge this every day. Where on earth am I going to charge it now? Changing clothes. The gym was my cupboard and the gym was 10 minutes away from me. This is my work van and I have my own personal car. So I had to maneuver 2 cars at once. It was a pretty ridiculous thing to do. There are so much more details. Bear in mind, if you like to cook or eat cooked food, yeah, you can say forget about that if you're trying to live this life. Sleeping was such a problem. I had to get these bubble wrap things that were covered in tinfoil for insulation, and that wasn't making my car warm at all. People are saying you should be using that for privacy. You're trying to tell me somebody walking by seeing tinfoil on the window is not going to know what's going on? Mate, forget that. Forget that. If I could describe it in one word, I would say cold. It was just so cold. Everything felt cold. Having to navigate was just so jarring. I did not have a plan. I'll be honest, I didn't have a plan. One thing I will say for sure though, is that it sparks a big fire in your tummy. Like every single day of me living in my car, I would always say, man, F this life. I'm gonna get out of this. But the answer was when. I didn't have a structure, I didn't have a plan, and that is a big weakness of mine that I've managed to identify and work on. Having a plan and knowing exactly what you're gonna be doing before you actually do it. Enough of that. I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. Forget that. What are we going to do from here moving forward? I've reached out to a couple of my friends and asked them if I can rent with them at a much cheaper rate. I am not trying to spend the London rent price. So if my friends will agree to a cheap price, I'll take that. If they don't, I will move back to my parents' house, with the trick being I don't spend the day at home. I only go there to sleep. Everything else is outside. Cold calls, everything will be outside. I hope my little brother didn't watch this video. Yo, if you did, keep it between me and you. But yeah, that's that. Throw it in the bin. It's done. we move on. We're back on the cold calls and we're back on practicing our tonality again, which, by the way, is a whole damn industry that I didn't think was that deep. If you type in on YouTube how to practice your tonality or how to practice enthusiasm, there is a ridiculous amount of videos. It's just like the self-help world. And I was like, what on earth is going on here? I thought it was a simple, structured method, but there's just so many different techniques of practicing different tonalities and all that. Like, everyone again is just complicating it, and I hate it when people just complicate things. So I've resorted to speaking to myself for 30 minutes a day on my way to work, just speaking about the most random topics. Like, let's talk about the apple flavor of Skittles. And I'll just try my best to talk about that as much as I can. Another method that has helped me a lot is listening to speakers that I admire and trying to mimic their voice as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. My bad for letting you down. This is me being transparent as to what has happened, and we're back to steering the ship in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.